Thank you very much, brother. It's a pleasure to be here.
For the people that's not familiar with you, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, I'm Clayton Howard. Unfortunately, I am one of the male providers or escorts, if you want to call them, that was heavily mixed up in the Diddy and Cassie matter.
Yes, indeed. So with that being said, I want to take it from the beginning. How did you first meet Diddy and Cassie?
Wow, that's a crazy story in itself. So I actually got incarcerated because I ain't a lot of these guys are like strippers and dancers. I'm gonna be honest. I used to be out there. Like I lived a very different life than I live right now. I got into some trouble in my early 20s, so they sent me to prison. And when I got out, I was in amazing shape. The jail glow, big arms, big shoulders, six pack abs. I had no problem getting women. So I was sleeping with this woman that I had like met in Manhattan or something. And she actually owned an independent agency that managed escorts. Some from basically busting her back down. She's like, yo, you are amazing. You realize you can make money from this. So, I think she's just gassing me. I'm like, baby, whatever. She's like, no, I'm serious. Look at your body. You're amazing in bed. She's like, yo, I could make money for you. What's up? And I'm like, get out of here with this. So she's coming at me for weeks with this art, weeks. Again, I had just came home. I'm trying to get a job. I don't want to, go back to selling rock. So I had the idea to sell cock. I was like, you know what? Let's try it. Post me up. So let's see what happens. So she posts me up. And immediately I start getting calls from like older white couples, married men with wives, late 40s, early 50s. It would turn out that would be my niche, older white women, love an in shape, dark skinned black man. And it was pretty profitable for a while. I want to say 60 days in is when I got the call from Cassie. Calling the woman through the agency that hired me independently. She calls me up. She says, listen, this girl saw your pictures and she's in love. She wants you to come over. I'm like, word. Shorty tells me the girl sounds like she looks amazing. I said, all right, give her my number. Let me talk to her. Whatever. She sends me Cassie's number. She gives Cassie my number. Before I could even call Cassie, Cassie calls me. Hey, what's up? Dave? Yeah, what's going on? She's like, yo, I saw your pictures. I like what I saw. Is that really your, manhood? Yeah, that's mine. She's like, all right, I'm in the London hotel in New York. You want to come see me? We go through the subtleties and I'm called to the London. That's the first time I meet Cassie.
And when you first met her, how did that go?
When I first met her, it was dope. I was obviously surprised by how beautiful she was. I never expected a woman that gorgeous to open the door. Never. I remember when she opened the door, I was so stuck. I was looking at her like, wow, look at this woman. And she actually had to speak to me just to snap me out of it. Like, yo, bro, hey, Dave. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So it was a lot to first see her. And it immediately put my guard up because she was too attractive. I'm like, why is this woman paying some guy to come here and give her a massage? She could get anybody to get her a massage. Why does she want me to get her a massage? And I would find out later it had nothing to do with a massage. She wanted me to give her the works.
So how did she first bring that up to you, that she wanted to have sex with you?
Let's see. I walk into the suite with her, beautiful suite. I'm sitting in the living room. We talk for a few minutes. She offers me a drink, whatever. We're just like basically he's really into the lifestyle. She starts to explain to me that they're swingers. They do their little, like swinging stuff. She asked me, did I have a problem with him watching? Now, considering my past clients, I had no problem with him watching because I had done this with the 3 or 4. I actually think I had like 5 solid clients by then. And usually when husbands called me to give me their wives, they usually watched the first encounter if it went to a sexual encounter. So they would basically sit in the room and watch to make sure their wife is safe. So when, Cassie said this to me, I was kind of, I want to say, numb to the situation of someone watching me from a voyeur standpoint. So I said, cool, no problem. And he came down. He was really quiet. He had his face covered with a baseball cap. I think it was Pittsburgh because it had a yellow P on it and his bandana wrapped around his nose and his mouth. He spoke to me like, yeah. I said, yeah, barely said a word, immediately grabbed a bottle of baby oil, went to the dark corner, sat in the corner. Cassie comes up to me. She starts talking to me, complimenting my body, my chest. She asked Diddy, can she begin? Can she touch me? He told her no, put the baby oil on. And that was my education that night into how the next 8 years would be.
So he was cool with a man having a bigger manhood than him. He was turned on by that.
Yes, he was. There were even encounters where I remember specifically with the gentleman who testified first for the trial, Daniel Phillip. I remember when this guy paid us for the orgy with Cassie, like he was actually looking at me and Daniel Phillip, and he was like, yo, if I had you guys, like manhood, I wouldn't even have to work. I wouldn't have to do nothing. And me and Daniel Phillip looked at each other like, whoa, what the hell is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Do you think he hired you because you can please Cassie in ways he couldn't?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't like to talk this way about Cassie because she does deserve the respect of the confidentiality of our sexual encounter. But I think she kind of forwent that by speaking about it herself and bringing this before the media. But when I used to have sex with Cassie, Cassie used to come like that, literally like that. I don't know how. Like I watched her and Diddy have sex. He wasn't doing what I was doing. I would have sex with her in maybe 5 minutes. She'd squirt and come all over the place. She was an incredibly sexual young woman. Incredibly, incredibly sexual.
When was the next time y'all met up after the first meeting?
Well, after that encounter, it went for probably, I want to say, a little under a day. But the funny part is when I was leaving, Cassie actually comes to me and she's like, yo, that was great. Can you stay longer? I had been there maybe 12 hours already. So I'm like, you're going to pay me again, right? And she said, absolutely. Hold on. She goes upstairs. She gets me some money. I can't remember how much it was off the top of my head now, but she comes back. She gives me a wad of cash and she was like, yo, how long can you stay? And, basically, honestly, I told her, well, how long are you going to pay me? She said the same amount. I said, as long as you want me to stay, that's the same amount of time. You give me the same amount, I'm going to give you the same time. So I stay with her. We have an excellent, encounter. It goes really well. I liked Cassie when I met her. Cassie's a very down to earth woman. She's polite. She has excellent energy. There's really no way you could not like Cassie when you meet her. This is the truth. She's a very, very affable and nice person. So I was actually kind of surprised where like 2, 3 weeks later, she called me again and she's like, yo, are you around? And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess you couldn't get enough. She said, no, I've been thinking about you the whole time. What's up? Can you come meet me at the same place? I said, all right. I go back to the London hotel.
From your point of view, when you look at this situation, how do you view Cassie?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying she's 100% a co-conspirator. She's not a victim of this. This was something that Diddy and his girlfriends got together to do to satisfy their sexually depraved fantasies. To tell you the truth, as a victim of this, I really don't think this is something they set up intentionally to be malicious. I think it was something they just started talking about their fantasies with. They got it started with to, satisfy those fantasies, and it got horribly out of control. I totally believe that this is just something that got above them from the drugs and the fact that they had no regard for the people who they were calling because they were so high above the people they were calling. Cassie was definitely a co-conspirator, bro. There's no way about it. I was in the room too long. I was in too many freak-offs, bro. There's no way me as an actual party who sat in these freak-offs for years can tell you that Cassandra Ventura was a victim. She was not. She was a victim of DV because Diddy was volatile. He'd be up for days. He'd be high for days. His emotions and his mood would flip like that, but he never beat Cassie because Cassie didn't want to have sex. He did hit her one time because he caught she and I sneaking having sex when he told us to stop. He goes in the bedroom. He tells us to stop. She's close to climax. She tells me when he closes the door, yo, throw it back in. I'm high. She's high. I throw it back in. Shorty comes. Diddy catches her coming. Now he's mad that she had sex with me when he told her not to. So he puts hands on her. That's the only time that they would have violence with things like that, bro. It was never because she would be like, no, I don't want to do this or this is uncomfortable. And he takes in the room and starts punching her in the head like, go out there and suck some beef. Never that, bro.
And you saw Diddy stop Cassie from doing drugs multiple times, right?
I saw it at least twice. The time she overdosed in Long Island, and like I think one time we was in Miami because we all been young, bro. When you young, you into the lifestyle, music industry, any industry. You might smoke weed, you party. People like to do drugs. They like to get high. They like the way it makes them feel. With respect for Cassie and a lot of consideration for her, because a lot of people think that I hate her or I don't like her because my lawsuit is filled with predominantly allegations against her. It's not personal. It's because my experience is with her. I could lie on Diddy, but I'd be lying on Diddy and I would jeopardize my action because Diddy and his team would break my part to lie. But everything in that lawsuit is the truth. That's why Cassie's lawyer hasn't responded yet. He can't. What is he going to respond to? Everything the U.S. Attorney's office knows to? He really can't do anything. So I want to say, like, this is something that just got out of control, that I think that when she realized that, her relationship with Diddy was over, she got this new husband. And shout out to her husband, Alex Fine. I respect that man. A lot of people try to clown him, but I respect him. And I'm going to tell you why I respect him. When his wife told him this, he did the right thing. He told his wife to go get justice. That's exactly what that man was supposed to do. If my wife came to me and told me some of the things that happened that Diddy did to her, I'd be like, baby, get him. Take him to the clears. Say everything. But now the problem is, I think when she told her husband this, she wasn't honest with him. There's no way she told this man the truth. There's no way she told this guy everything that happened to this. She made herself look like the victim, and now she's getting exposed because people like me and all the male escorts are saying Cassie was involved. Cassie liked it. And that's her problem now.
Tell me about the time that Cassie overdosed. Because the drug that she overdosed on, Diddy told her to stop taking, right?
Yes, he did. It was GHB. We have this freak off of this. He told her, baby, that's too much. Don't take that. She says, no, I'm fine. He told her, I want to be fair and I want to be honest. I think this man told her like 3 or 4 times she was taking too much, but she told him no. She takes the substance, bro. I could say it was less than 10 or 15 minutes. Cassie turns up. Her lips are fuller. Her breasts are standing up. She's sweating. I'm going to be honest. She looked amazing, bro. Like whatever this drug did to her running through her skin, shorty turned from bad to super bad. So now she's attacking me. She's rubbing me. She's like kissing me all over me. I'm highly impressed. Diddy knows something's wrong with her. He's like, yo, Dave, hold on a second. Hold on. Chill. Something wrong. I'm like, bro, let her finish. Hold on, just give her a second. Let her finish. Let me see where this is gonna go. She gets on her knees to like service me. And Diddy knows something's wrong with her. He's like, yo, hold on, bro. She's not acting right. Something's wrong. I'm still telling her to go because, bro, she's turned up. She's tearing me apart. She's about to, orally satisfy me the way she's moving. I'm feeling like she about to do the damn thing, bro. So I'm telling him to wait, to let me at least experience some of this new Cassie that I've never seen before, because I hadn't seen this version of Cassie. I like this one. All of a sudden, bro, she stood up and she just starts going into convulsions, bro. Violent, like swinging. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with her? Diddy grabbed her. He said, yo, she overdosing. Oh, crap. So now me and him is trying to grab her. I'm covered in baby oil. She's covered in baby oil. He's trying to grab her, but she got so much baby oil on her, he can't grab her. She's slipping out of his hands. I'm trying to grab her. I got baby oil on her. I can't grab her. So you got me, Diddy, and Cassie. Me and Diddy covered in oil, trying to grab Cassie and restrain her, but we can't because she covered in baby oil and she mad slippery. This went on for like 30 minutes. So finally, Diddy says, yo, wipe yourself off, put your clothes on, and help me put her in the shower. Bet. He said, wipe yourself off, put your clothes on, help me put her in the shower. I actually wiped myself off and took her in the shower, hoping the cold water would wake her up. It did. The next 8 hours, we sit in this room, 7-8 hours, just trying to wait for Cassie to wake up out of this drug-induced coma so we can see if she's all right. Now, I did want to call the ambulance. Diddy didn't want to call the ambulance because he's like, yo, dude, do you know who I am, bro? Paparazzi come here, the news come here. Bro, it's over now. We got to see if she going to be all right. So he makes me wait in this room to see if Cassie's going to be all right. And I want to say up until this point, me and him wasn't really cool. But after this night, when I held him down, I didn't leave him because Shorty overdosed. And I actually waited to see if she was okay. He gained the respect for me. So now me and him have rapport as men. It's like, all right, bro, I went through this, but you a man. You held me down. You didn't run on me. Because Diddy, he might be a messed up dude, but he got some principles to him. He got some honor to him as a man. So he appreciated the fact, that I held him down. Me and this man is exhausted, bro. It's 2 men in there, they might say all of this gay stuff about Diddy, but Diddy and me never did no gay stuff. Diddy's like a guy you could talk to like a block guy. This is the truth, He's a man's man. You could have a conversation with Diddy. So now we talked this whole night about different subjects, and the morning come, we sober. We ain't do no drugs. It's just me and him. What we look like, two men. I ain't gonna say he heterosexual, but I know I am. What we look like doing drugs together with no girl. Not happening. So now we sober. Cassie wakes up that morning. She's been asleep 7, 8 hours. So she's like all over the place. She's up. She feel better. She's like, yeah, thank you. You're my hero. You stayed with me. Oh my God. Like me and you are so close. Remember, I've known them for years at this time. She says to me, Diddy goes into the drawer, pulls